Hi, I'm Laura Kelly, clinical homeopath and nutritionist. Let's talk about diabetes. It's estimated that 285 million people worldwide are affected by diabetes, with a further 7 million people developing diabetes each year. In Canada alone, more than 9 million people are living with diabetes today. And what is diabetes? It's a disorder of metabolism where the body fails to utilize the ingested glucose or sugar we eat in our diet properly. And glucose is the main source of fuel that our body uses for energy. But in order to use glucose, the body needs a hormone called insulin, which is made by our pancreas. Insulin is important because it allows glucose to leave our bloodstreams and enter into our body's cells to be used as energy. Diabetes develops when your body cannot make enough insulin or it doesn't use it properly. There are three main types of diabetes. Type 1, which accounts for 10% of the diabetics, type 2, which accounts for 90% of the diabetics, and gestational diabetes, a type of diabetes that arises in pregnancy, and that only accounts for between 2 and 4% of the diabetics that we see. People whose family members have diabetes are more likely to develop diabetes themselves, and that's true of both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. So let's talk about type 1 diabetes for a second. Like I suggested, about 10% of diabetics have type 1 diabetes, and it's usually a progressive autoimmune disease in which the beta cells in our pancreas that produce insulin are slowly destroyed by the body's own immune system. It's not fully understood why this happens, but we believe it's because of a cascade of immune events, suggesting both genetic predisposition as well as an environmental factor such as a viral infection. So the two of them are involved together. In type 2 diabetes, which is 90% of diabetics, it occurs because the pancreas does not produce enough insulin or when it's not sensitive enough to be using the insulin properly. So 90% of these type 2 diabetics are obese, and with every 20% increase in body weight, the chance of becoming a type 2 diabetic doubles. However, in a recent large study, people at risk of developing type 2 diabetes were able to reduce their risk by nearly 60% by exercising moderately for 30 minutes a day and by losing 5 to 7% of their body weight. Gestational diabetes is the third type of diabetes that I mentioned. It is a temporary condition that usually occurs between 2 and 4% of pregnancies. Typically, once the pregnancy ends, it's not an issue anymore. However, occasionally those people do go on to develop diabetes. So something I hadn't mentioned was prediabetes, and we're seeing this more and more. It refers to a condition in which a person's glucose levels are temporarily higher than normal, but not high enough for us to diagnose diabetes. This is an important group that we like to look at to target, to change their health so they don't go on to develop diabetes. And as many as 6 million Canadians are considered to be in the pre-diabetes category. In those people, often a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes is made eventually. However, if you are proactive about your health, there's several steps that can be made to ensure that type 2 diabetes does not become part of your future. Look below this video to find out the key steps to regulating your blood sugar levels. And remember, the best way to maintain your health is through prevention. If you'd like to learn more about natural ways to support your health and your blood sugars, ask Laura, clicking on the icon below, or book an appointment to start your health building treatment plan today. If you have a friend or family member who'd benefit from this information, please pass it along to them. To find out more information about your health and in particular your blood glucose levels, click on the health status quiz to the right of this video and we will email you the results. And remember, we are your total health and wellness specialists. Healthy starts here.